So this is going to be similar to what we worked with before with black, in that I am going to apply this complementary color to my red, but I want it to still look like red. So I'm going to do that through how much green I add to my red. So I'm going to put down at first a light pressure of green. And I'm going to work into a very light pressure of green by the time I reach over here. And in fact, some of them might end up with the same value of green for now, but that's because I want to control how much green I end up mixing into my red, because again, I want it to look like red in the end and not green. So I'm going to just start with a light amount of green down so that it's already going to help darken and dull down my red color when I start applying it. So now that I have the green down, I'm going to start layering some red. And for this value scale, I'm going to go with a little bit more of a heavy hand with my red. So instead of just using pressure and keeping my red light like I did in a lot of these up here, I'm going to let the red be a little bit more apparent and then try mixing with the greens. Okay, so notice I put about the same amount of pressure on my reds as I worked on them. What I'm definitely noticing is the difference in my red. Here is red with pressure, maybe a little bit slight more pressure than what I did here. But notice how much more vibrant and bright this one is compared to this one down here. It's a little bit darker. So even that very thin coating of green I put on the bottom first definitely changed the red and started to dull down the brightness. So now I'm going to come back with a little bit more green and start working with pressure of the green, heavier pressure, working my way lighter. And then I will probably end up putting another coat of red over top, but let's see what the green does first. So that has one coat of green, a lot of pressure here at the end, and very light pressure at the beginning. So I am starting to see some value change here, but I'm also seeing some color change. So this is looking a little bit more of a dark green, and in some places that neutral that you get when you mix red. You see a little bit of the red peeking through, a little bit of the green peeking through, and then you have areas where they've mixed evenly and you get more of that dark gray, almost black, slightly brownish neutral. Here you can definitely see a little bit more of the red coming through. So I'm going to go back over top with red. So remember, color pencil, sometimes you have to layer it. So I am getting there. These two are about the same value. This one's pretty close to them. But again, I want them to stay looking red. So I'm going to come back in with a little bit more green to try to adjust these values. And then I might have to add another layer of red on top to hide any green. Okay, so there is my value scale with red and green, so my complementary colors. So a very deep dark red, and just easing up and putting less green mixed in with my red pigment to create my value changes. So I'm again going to write down what it is I used. My 324, and the green I used was a 309. So this sheet is now filled, but I do have one other value scale technique I want to show you. So I'm going to create another value scale page to do that on.